You know, when I was young, the invention of the television really changed life in my house. It really did. And when I look back on it and I see what television did to influence myself, to influence my family, and to influence people around us, it really is quite remarkable. You know, all of the social visions that I had of what society could be, all of these come from the television, and generally this will be the same for most people out there.
Your big break in TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Tell me which ones are free. Free from debt, anxiety, stress, fear, failure, indignity, betrayal. How many wish they were born knowing what they know now? Ask yourself, how many would do things the same way all over again? And how many would live their lives like me?
Guys, and I'm telling you guys, a lot of the stuff that's in the stores right now, guys, it's all to deteriorate us, man. It ain't nothing safe in these stores. I'm telling you that. You go around, you feel good because your body's immune to eating that garbage. You understand? But overall, it's messing you up. And anytime you go to the, listen, this is how you know it's doing something to the body. This is how you know. All right? You know, when you go and you eat food, the body is designed to digest the food on its own, right? But that doesn't happen, okay? People are bloated, intestines are swollen up, you understand what I'm saying? So we go out here, and then the thing is, when we get sick, because of the food that we eat, because of the stuff that's covering up our food, the plastics that's got a lot of toxins in it and chemicals and stuff like that, it messes our body up. So then we go to the doctor, right? And then the doctor gives us medicine to take for something that the world is designed to kill us anyway. So then the doctor add on top of that something just to, you know, give us a little comfort. But that also goes against what our body's designed to do. You understand? And in turn, it just gives us a greater decline. But see, this is the world that we live in. See, we got the pharmaceutical industry. You understand? We got the public officials, the leaders, the politicians, the government, the military, everybody, all have an agenda, guys, and we, the American people, are the targets.
That it's psychopaths milking everybody, and the white people have been set up as the blame. Oh, it's European culture, all this shit that's going on. It's not really a psychopathic culture that's done it. But we've got to pay attention to what's going on, and we do because of these guys. These guys are really important. I like to sit down a bit and chat. These guys are really important. They really are. And everything we do, all the people that come and talk to you on all these events, it's all about these guys. It's all about the future, because, you know, what we're seeing being created now with this whole smart system and this whole addiction to iPads, and what this is about really is dopamine addiction. I don't know if anyone's picked that up, but when you click an icon on your screen, you get a little rush, you know. It's dopamine. That's why kids, when they get these things early, it's instantaneous gratification, and it's dopamine addiction. You give a kid an iPad and he's totally entertained. Take it away and he screams his face off, and nothing will solve him but getting this iPad back. And it's dopamine addiction, you know. And it's totally disconnecting these kids. And the kids, the way it's ramping up so quickly, this whole smart grid and this whole iPad culture, everything is ramping up so quickly that the kids that are starting school now, by the time they leave school in 10 to 15 years, they're going to have no reference point for freedom. They're going to be so disconnected from their parents, all the stuff that's going on, this gender fluidity. This shit, have you seen this? 300 schools in Victoria have signed up. In Victoria, Australia have signed up. Yes, we agree with gender fluidity. They will facilitate gender transition for kids as young as 6-year-olds without the consent of the parents, without even the knowledge of the parents. And in the document, in the federal whatever it is, bullshit that they gave them, it says there it is possible to consider a child or a minor as a young, or it's possible to consider a child as a mature minor. That's what they said. It's possible to consider a child as a mature minor. Really, I think it's possible to consider these politicians as deranged fuckheads. You know, it's possible to consider all of this stuff. It's possible to consider taking these people out the back and shooting them for even penning this type of legislation. It's ridiculous.
Walking on flat surfaces with square corners completely disconnects you from everything you're supposed to be. So that's the energy of that. And the economic model is what we are attempting to defeat. The economic system is the cause of our problems. Well, at least it's the glue that holds the system together. Very few people go to other websites. They simply go to Facebook and get their news from Facebook. And now, of course, that much of the independent media has been categorized as fake news, and there is an active attempt underway to shut many of these sites down. It's just getting worse and worse. For example, a lot of businesses now don't even bother to open their own websites. They just open a page on Facebook, and when they give you their business card, it's basically their phone number and a link to their Facebook page. There's no website. And this is setting a very dangerous precedent, folks, because Facebook is virtually taking over the internet. And this is setting a very dangerous precedent, folks, because Facebook is virtually taking over the internet. Now, this is a dopamine addiction that people are suffering, which is underlying all of this as well, because when you click on an icon on your phone, releases a little dopamine burst into your brain, so you get a feeling of happiness, instant gratification. And when this happens second by second by second, so our attention span has been reduced down to a few seconds, and we're measuring every moment by the amount of pleasure we receive from that moment through the mechanism of things such as iPhones and games and all this instantaneous gratification that we're receiving. So when you come along and you start trying to tell people this type of information, this isn't clicking any of those little dopamine cells. It isn't giving them instantaneous gratification. They're not feeling good about this particular moment. So therefore, it's something to be feared, because you've knocked them out of their comfort zone, And with the human race as well, I mean, we've had our attention span reduced to less than a goldfish. So people don't want to think about anything that makes them think too much. They don't want to think about anything that makes them think outside of the box. They just want that instant gratification. And that's how they measure every day and every moment of each day, by the amount of pleasure they receive from that moment. And that's what makes it very difficult. This is what